Fratelli the Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast. Fratelli the Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast. The Italian Rugby Podcast.
Ed eccoci, benvenuti, welcome, buon lunedì, happy Monday. Welcome everyone to a new episode of Fratelli the Rugby Podcast, the Italian Rugby Podcast, 1 hour earlier because in an hour, Italy under 20 will play against Australia, so we're going to watch that game. We're going to be quick to review what happened this weekend in...
That the name of...
Let's see.
GQEBERHA.
I cannot say the name of Port Elizabeth. Somebody already texted us on YouTube about GQEBERHA, something with the click, but I cannot do the click properly. So
yeah. I mean, with the utmost respect, unfortunately.
Yeah. So GQEBERHA, whatever I have to call it, House of the Maul, from Maul to Maul, Mike. From Maul to Maul, House of Maul, House of Pain, in a certain way, just to stay into rugby. Also, mystic, because House of Pain, there was a famous game from a few years ago. But Mike, we came at the end of this also this summer tour, so we are heading home, not like during the conference after the post-match conference, media press, a media from South Africa, I guess, asks to Quesada, so you want to play, how you going to get ready for next week? I said, no, next week we're going home. So
we're going home, yeah.
Yeah, they're home, but we're going to discuss about this game, honestly, about how it went, what is the positive from this game, what is the negative, and we're going to talk in general about what was this tour for us, for Italy, for Quesada, for the players, and everything else. Of course, if you have any question, please jump on YouTube live so we can answer you and we can read you. Actually, that is the most important thing. We can read you there. And Mike, I was just 40 minutes back home. I took the plane. I came back home a little bit.
To watch the game. You made it in time.
Watch the game. I made it on time. I was happy until the minute 30. Until Bertaccini misunderstood, missed that bounce, and South Africa scored the third try. Until there, I was pretty okay. Then a little bit sad. But how did you watch the game? How did you feel? Is it so different since you watched the first time the game and now?
Yeah, for sure. I was at a good friend's birthday party, and we started early. There was a lot of rugby on in the morning, so watched it with very much beer tinted glasses come like 10 past 4. But I watched it back. I actually just finished it watching it back before we started, so everything's very fresh. To be honest with you, not too much has changed from my memory with regards to the game. I'm not too upset about the game, which is weird because we lost heavily against a 14-man squad for 60 minutes. But Italy of old would have lost by like 80 there, or 90 against 40. There was some good there. It just, I think it's just one of those things where you watch it back and there were some really good individual performances, but as a team, as a collective, I think we weren't really up to the task of, the box, and that's okay.
If we compare our performance last week in the test number 1 and this, of course, we totally missed a couple of points, more than the kicking game in general, every attacking platform, because we throw away so many line outs, so that is a thing, and of course Maul defense and first phase, those 3 things more than everything, because then there were the tricky Rassi under 14 South Africa line out in the middle of the field and Maul. which is fine. It's funny and everything, but we miss so many opportunity to block them from set piece because we didn't pick the right decision. And the line out, man, because if we were able to because we got the opportunity, the platform, territorial platform, okay, let's go just inside the 22, just create something, and we missed those opportunity from line out. They were really bad, because between knock on, ball in the air, dirty line out with a fumble on the ground, and then
Kicks.
jump in, something like that, you miss the opportunity to score, to move the scoreboard, which is probably the harshest part of this game. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, for me, obviously, like, no one wants to be nilled. And to be honest with you, like you said, we had limited attacking opportunity, and I feel like the attacking that we did do was just poorly executed. I think actually the couple of times where we managed to get into shape quickly on the counter attack, I think there was one where Darre did a loop round and Bertaccini had just come on, and like clearly his hands weren't warm. He ends up dropping the ball there. Or Belloni manages to ghost through
The grabber from Sasha in the middle, they stop it, and then he didn't switch with the Menon shell.
But even watching it back, I didn't notice that there was Vincent and
inside.
There was someone else on the other side. If it goes to Vincent, he's clear there. He's scoring.
Another
so
opportunity,
decision making.
Linag
with the kick
in the second half, couple of
with
kicks,
the kick over.
Over.
That kick was so unlucky, because if that goes end over end, he's beating Willie LaRue for pace. He goes through. Like, that was the right decision. That one wasn't even poor execution. That was just unlucky because it's the bounce of a rugby ball, and we know what that does. So, but I think decision making in attack, with the limited amount that we had, a better team would have scored, and that's something that we need to take away, I think.
I'm gonna show just share the match center detail of the game, the one provided by South Africa, and of course this point here, the lineouts.
Oof.
Yes, because in the second half, all the lineouts with the Dimchev, all of them were stolen, not straight. So we lost so much on that side. And that it's key, because I can show you later while we talk. I can just let them run. And what we see is that all those platforms where we can try to build also from the distance, that you can still manage to move the defense in another way, didn't work this time. So that was the actually the worst, because it was really low level for what we learned in the last months, line out wise. So that was really picked and well defended by the box, because they were always there stealing the ball. Reactivity, Nortje was really, really good in the line out. So that for me was something really bad. Thinking about an opportunity of a good player they can do that kind of work. Zambonin can do the right work there. It's not because there's no roots. I know we have to develop this kind of player to take the responsibility on the highest point possible, game possible, whatever. What else, Mike, you didn't like in this game? Rewatching. What do you think about? We discussed about this in our chat and everything, about the kicking game. How in the second half the Springboks start box kicking, and using like traditional Springboks 2019-23 with a cross kick bomb on the other side later.
Yeah, they identified that Trulla obviously off. Bertaccini, who doesn't typically play wing, was on the wing. And they felt him out in the first half, I think, with a few kicks, and they realised that actually there's opportunity there. Belloni, obviously, first start. And actually, like I said, I actually think he had a pretty good first game, to be honest, considering who he was playing, considering who his opposite number was, considering the calibre of player. He needs to get better in the air, and he needs to develop physically, but he's like, his instinct is there. I can see why they called him up. And then I thought Liner was pretty good in the air, but again, it's one of those where unfortunately it's the opposition that he's against which does it. But they opted to kick. They clearly saw it as something that worked, and it did. Otto, it did.
That was something. What's your thoughts about this lifting maul? Let's call it lifting maul.
I love it. I genuinely, I don't understand why people are so upset about this. I love the fact
Quesada was mad
in
too.
a game. I know he was in a game that was invented by someone picking up the ball and going against and innovating, picking up a football and running with it. Right? How is it that we can't actually acknowledge some really cool innovation, like someone literally trying to do something different? Obviously I saw a lot of comments saying, oh, what happens if they do it on the try line, then basically you can't defend that and this, that and the other. Yes, I definitely think World Rugby are going to look into it, and they're probably going to, but I love the fact that they think out the box and stuff like that. I love it.
That is a good thing.
I love it, Otto.
Yeah, maybe, and I hear some friends too speaking about why we didn't start not engaging, not going to sack the player, and went straight on the other side. I think sometimes it's just reaction time there that you see the player sometimes with Zamboni in front of the lifted player. Both time was Norkia, so both time he tried to sack the player but wasn't fast enough. And then of course maul is formed. You have players from both sides pushing, so you cannot go turn around.
Yeah, I get.
But
I
know they can turn quickly and just start running without anybody in the front too, because that is something.
But Otto as well. I think the first one that they did really well executed. The second one that I think they scored. They did it 3 times. They scored every time, didn't they?
They did it twice, and almost another maul with Mapimpi on a try that was scored by the brace whistle earlier. So they got the penalty there, and they went and they did it with the maul.
But the point is, right? Yes, there's no offside line, all of that good stuff. It's open play, all of that good stuff. Like the lifters still need to be on an onside position, because that's an important thing, because if you watch the last 2, the lifter goes in between. So when there's crossing in at the line out, watch the last 2 again. Like they step across, which means that yes, okay, they engaged, but it was always illegal. So little things like that. I think there is a spot for what they were trying to do. It's just, when are they trying to do it? That's the issue, Otto. Like, at what point are they trying to sort of get this set up?
I'm gonna try to find it for you as quick as possible.
Do this one here quickly. Was that the one that you just showed? The last one.
I am trying to find it quick through the.
On the 71-minute one, I think they did exactly the same thing there. They stepped across, didn't they?
It should be this 70 minutes. They did it, yes. Double.
Watch this.
This is the maul when they go out and they play and they score the try here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this one? They go from this situation, they keep playing, and then they come back and they do it.
You know what I love the most about it, though, Otto? What it's doing is it's very quickly constricting the line of defense. Like, everyone goes very narrow and it leaves space out wide. The Caden Moody one, where Liner has to. I think that's so smart.
It is, because you see how much they jump in the middle. This is the kind of Moody one. Here we go. On this side, you see there is Zambonin on the blind side, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
We are back there, and then they put this ball up in the air, and of course you think, like, I'm putting myself in Zambonin's shoes. Like, okay, what I go around. Somebody has to go around. No, it's the first time happening. The reaction here just to get him, like he's trying to do already, but he cannot. Like, let's say, more than that. So the moment goes down, they are able with an
look how quickly we constrict here though. Look, so we commit, what's it, 4 players there. Then there's also Vincent coming in and Zuliani coming in. Watch this. Then look who, look,
4th player, 5th player now with Zuliani.
Right.
Here we go with him.
Pause here quickly. Look, so Darre has to go out because Alessandro Garbisi is coming in and constricting there. So there's gaps there. We've got Vincent coming. I don't know who that is there. We've now
This
got
is Di Bartolomeo.
Okay, perfect. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players in view here. In like 10 meters.
Yes.
So there's five players to cover, the other sort of 40 meters of grass.
No, it's crazy. Come on. And then here you have this ball already with penalty, so you can always force the play in this situation. And now, for example, behind is trying to run Garbisi. But look how much space, because if we think about how many players they have, how many layers they have 3 layers here, plus they have the flat here, let's say, and here, the 2 options. Yep. Plus they have also Leroux running here, and they have another wing. And we are completely compressed. Look, all the players, we are compressed here in this triangle.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? Like, it's actually so smart. And this is what I mean. Like, people think about the actual action of the maul. I'm thinking about how it's manipulated the defense, and like, mate, it's so smart.
It works.
Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna see this during the Autumn Nation series?
No, Otto, I genuinely think this is going to get outlawed, because to answer your question from earlier, what happens if we're at 5 meters out and someone then does it on the try line? How do you defend that?
Okay, so another question for you, Mike. Do you think we're gonna see something like that during the Rugby Championship in a month?
If it hasn't changed by then, yes.
But you think they're gonna change it before? Because you know what is gonna happen if it's happened during the championship.
I don't think it should be changed personally, full stop.
Okay.
I do think potentially that they need to have a discussion about where it's done on the pitch, right? I think if we're, maybe it can't be done within the 5 yard line, right? That I think would be fine, right?
I remember sometimes especially South Africa, they did it before, something like that too. They tried to do some in the recent
against England in the World Cup final.
Okay, thank you. Okay, was there? They scored at not 20 meters, 40 meters maul, and then marks to De Klerk against Japan from a line out there.
Yeah,
but still, it was something that back in the days was really common to create this maul in the middle of the field. Just go, turn, engage, and keep pushing. Was really something that we probably. Man, I don't remember other times to have seen this, but maybe back in the days, yes. Tyrone, ciao, benvenuto, welcome.
Hi, Tyrone. Otto, for me, it's obvious. They know their strengths and they know where they could hurt us. We had under 25, like, obviously we had the odd older player like Negri and Dimchev, but we had a very young, inexperienced pack, and they knew that we were going to make inexperienced decisions, which was going to allow them opportunities to score. I don't know if you saw Razi's messages on the game.
Not yet. I will later.
So I'll quickly explain them. So Razi said, after speaking to the players, we felt like we understood where their weaknesses are and where we could exploit them for this game. So they knew that if they could manufacture opportunities of set piece, because it was we're playing an inexperienced team who haven't played that often together against a defensive like methodology that potentially they haven't played. If they could manufacture set piece, they were going to make something out of it. So they tried to find any ways of manufacturing set piece. They manufactured a maul. line out maul, right, from nowhere. But they also were trying to manufacture scrums from nowhere, like we saw right at the start of the game. So they had a clear understanding of what they needed to do. Like Razzy's an exceptional coach, and I said last week, Otto, we were going to learn how good the coaches were this week. You know what we learned? We learned Razzy's a fucking good coach, bro. Just reinforce the fact that we knew that. Now we know for sure.
But I listened the Italian side. I listened Quesada. He was mentioning the numbers in the stuff, which is Quesada knows what he's saying. Hopefully, I wish he had more stuff with me. That's my opinion on that. The take from him when he was talking. Then he wasn't happy at all, but I think he's all about also mind games, the way you answer back after. Even our social were really good in viral with a maul that we scored against them. So creating something through the maul, something that hurts you in a certain way. Even if we are Italy, we are not competing for the Rugby World Cup. But still, it's something that it's the symbol of this is okay. Let's do it through something inventive to the maul because in this way, this summer, this is gonna be something remembered by what they did. Oh, they did that this summer. For me, there is a certain way of that because you want to think about why we didn't score because they didn't score last week through maul. I was really surprised, and this weekend. This is the one they show up the best.
Yeah, for sure. And I think actually, just like to all the people who are really upset about this, even some of the Italian fans, right? We went to Twickenham and didn't compete for the Ruck for 70 minutes of a game, right? Who are we? Because we found a loophole in the laws. Like, who are we as a nation to say anything to anyone? Like, they found something that worked. They found something legal. You can argue the toss about the kick at the start, right? That probably was a penalty, but who cares? They only tried that one time. But like, we are the team that was trying to innovate. We just found someone better at it, you know?
I think let's do it on the other side. Like, think about if we were the guys doing that, what they should have said about us. Oh, you see,
I don't know. I think the South African fans would love that, though. Maybe, obviously, maybe there would be some hate and saying it's cheating and stuff. Typical Italy, whatever you want to say, right? But typical Italy found another loophole in the game. All right, we need to. The Twickenham one was changed very quickly, if you remember, though. That was changed very quickly.
You need to address that.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe that's a fair point. Maybe if we were to do it, people would start like throwing stones. But I loved it. I genuinely, I don't know. I just love it. I just think it's such a good way. We try and find in rugby. The modern game is so hard to manipulate the defense. Against a set defense, it is almost impossible to find space if people aren't competing and they're up on their feet at the ruck. Like, it's just so hard. What they did was basically what you would do. You would take 2 or 3 quick balls, crash balls to constrict the defense. They did it with one move, Otto. I think it's so smart. I love it. I think it's so. But again, I think people won't love it. Like, I think people at the top won't love it, and that's the issue.
Mike, in this game, who surprised you positively from the box or from Italy for what they did? I have a couple of names for both.
Yeah, no, Van Staden is like test quality, full stop, right? I thought it was brilliant. I thought he made a mockery of us at the breakdown. Zuliani obviously put his hand up again. We know he's good. Darre, again, on back foot, was playing brilliantly. I think on their side as well, Caden Moody was just brilliant. And
100% of wins with South Africa, Caden Moody.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what is crazy about Van Staden? He tackle. I was looking at the stats now. Just 5 tackles made during the game, but he was so strong being the first support player on the ball carrier, which is a lot of other work. He was just throwing people away.
I wonder if that was his role, though, Otto. Do you know what I mean? Like, Quesada spoke about roles on our side and how big of loss Cannone Lorenzo was to us because he had his role.
I'm gonna send you some noisy contents during this week because it's something that I was looking in this couple of weeks, because we usually struggle in the area of breakdown, the way we identify our roles in the best way possible to be efficient, less player with a lot of quality. And you see the way they also counteract against 3-4 players of ours, they get our balls really slow. There is an aptitude, but there is also technique, the way they approach and they
hit in the corner.
They work, on the rack, which is fantastic. Van Staden for me, was, and Grant Williams.
Yes,
really,
he was very good
as a 9. Really good kicks, runs. He knows his job really well, actually, and I loved him. Another World Cup winner.
I'm also going to throw out another name. I thought I want to say it's 72nd minute where we managed to get a few phases in and around their 22. Stephen Varney's passing off both hands is exceptional. Why aren't we playing him more? Like, genuinely, why aren't we playing him? I got a little bit annoyed the second, like literally just before we came on. I'm like, his passes off both hands. We knew they were good. Anyway.
It's really good that you're talking about when those action with line break on the
right, and then Spagnolo takes
on the wing inside.
Pace,
and we was low after that. Yes, there was good balls there. Mike, I'm gonna share with you a couple of stuff about. Because at the beginning of this Six Nation, the Summer Nation series, how you want to call it, Castellager, we are talking about players who's playing the most for us, why we send this kind of people to play, to compete. Also, they said about this, to compete. But if you think this is all our best player, we can argue about some names to add here and there. The guy in red are being rested for a reason.
Can we quickly, on this, Otto, can we quickly say the players that we think their stocks have gone up the highest from this as well as we're going along?
Yes.
Because there's a couple of players here that I'm looking and I'm like Hasa as an example. Like Hasa, for me, after this tour, we knew, like we were saying this. Listen to our pods a year ago, 2 years ago. Listen to what we were saying about Hasa.
You should put like up here, let's say.
Maybe right. Maybe like this, or
if you think about injury wise, now he's there and he's been there because he played on that side of the after Ferrari because there were injuries. So yes,
right,
is there.
So like now it's like, okay, who had a really good year, like Darre as an example. Does Darre go up one? And like, these are the questions I'm thinking, like, whose stock in here grew the most?
So
do you know what I mean?
Yes, I think we still have a big. So let's go with the props, okay? Lucid Fischetti had his
not his best game.
Not his best game. Yes, I agree with you. Also, the yellow card and everything. But Spagnolo did almost the same kind of penalty.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
in the game. So there, I think we still have some issues to find who's next. To also to manage better the power of Fischetti. For example, Spagnolo, and I'm going up here. Follow me up here. You see? This is all Quesada since England. Okay. From this point up here, we go up, and Spagnolo started only one game against Argentina, and then Fischetti's been always there as a number one in the team.
And what are your thoughts about Hasa at loosehead then? Is that do you think that's just tight head? He's too good to move from tight head.
If he's gonna specialize on one and get really strong on one side of the
The Scrum you want it be
Of the Scrum, I'm gonna be okay with that. Then because
fine.
he can always be the player that maybe is gonna now play 3-4 years tie head, and then he's gonna switch to loose head, vice versa.
So, question now.
Porteresque.
Now, sorry to interrupt. Now you can go back up on that bit there, right?
Yeah.
Where do you think Nemer would have sits in this? Do you think he's in conversation? Do you think he's under loose head prop? Do you think he's under tight head prop?
I hope he's gonna lift his hands playing well and playing a lot of games. If you think how much they're gonna be out Gallo this until December, let's say.
Is that confirmed?
No, but if you think about not injury, but playing with the Autumn Nation Series, and now in a month they're gonna start the Rugby Championship.
Okay, so here's a question then again.
So yes, Nemer is a player that should be added here.
What about Destiny?
But Amino, I'm happy to put it here.
So these are the people, for those of you guys who don't watch Italian rugby, these are the ones that we're looking at. Obviously, Nemer, you probably would have seen in the Six Nations a little while back. But these are the ones where, there's questions. Can they take the next step? And these are the ones that we're speculating on,
Yes, so on that side, Mike, more or less we are like that. We can add Asa, there can be Bonfiglio, but let's say quality and a project player, like young player, is one of them with the Rizzoli.
Yeah,
those two are the
and I think Spagnolo obviously is ahead of Rizzoli now for sure. I think he's I think confirmed that for sure.
Pitinari, who knows, Josh? Because still Pitinari, non è chiara la situazione. We don't know about, like, he's gonna be followed up. Why nobody asked to Quesada about Pitinari? That's we need. But anyway, then Nicodra Lucchesi, we found a couple of good options. Di Bartolomeo Dimchev. I put Ribaldi because it's being called up, but probably Ribaldi is not that close to these people. And with those four for now.
Although I agree with all of those. I think that I think you're spot on, and I think Di Bartolomeo is biting at people's like feet,
Attenzione,
Gasperini,
yes, and Quattrini. Those are the two names that always we hear more and more. Would it be good to have a Bernasconi in this game? That
would have been nice, eh?
Yes. To be honest.
That would have been nice.
And let's see what's gonna happen with Zarantonello in the project next year, if he's gonna be taking
put him in actually. Yeah, that's I completely forgot about him as well. He's one there, isn't he?
But let's say Quesada, let's play these players, and here we should have Manfredi at the moment. If we think all the players, Quesada's on that side.
Yeah.
On the tired prop, Ferrari, Asa, Zilocchi, Riccioni, Ceccarelli. Ferrari play honestly, like we know. Zilocchi didn't play injured. Riccioni injured at the beginning of the game. Ceccarelli, we didn't see him, so positive from Ferrari being cold and ready to play, and Asa for what he did, I think.
Yeah, they picked themselves. Tight head. I'm trying to think who potentially Genovese, if we're looking at other
Genovese, Neculai, Gallorini,
Nocera.
But those are all the players that they have to. They need a cracking season with the team, with their franchise, and be ready if there isn't the opportunity. For me, all of that, they need time and to be good enough. Locks
pick themselves. For sure.
Cannone, Favretto, Zambonin, and Ruzza. I love the four players together. I like the way Canali is trying to fight his position into the starting, the bench player. Lamb, we know what he can do, but he has some kind of issue now. Let's see how he's going to be managed by the federation and his team. For the Six Nations, if he's going to be part of the Six Nations or not. Dino Lamb, Iachizzi back in France, always good to have an hybrid lock. He can play also on the blind side, for example. And Krumov, then I don't know who else can be another player to be added right now into this. But when we think which player we are bringing the player that we need to play more. Canali, uncapped. Zambonini had less than 10 caps. Favoretto less than 10 caps, 6 caps I think before the starting. So those are players that they need to play to improve, and it's okay to leave Ruzza home for a summer so you can do whatever.
Yeah.
Or Tombina. Or Tombina. Those two players, they have a lot to work next season because it's going to be their first season URC. Or Tombina, of course, has already some experience in a different way. Ruffolo started already a couple of times, but those two can be really good for us. Mike, if we look at the blind side, the open side, number 8 of Italy at the moment, you see a lot of opportunity, but
it's tough, isn't it, Otto?
Not that clever like now, the situations for me.
No, because there's people who
I'm gonna go up so you can see who played during Quesada.
I was gonna say, like, we had a few years of like really great sustained under 20s talent, and we're seeing them here. We're seeing Zuliani, we're seeing Vincent, we're seeing Lamaro, we're seeing Cannone, we're seeing Isagur, even though he had a different part. Negri is obviously just a cornerstone to
always there
the game. Always, right?
As soon as possible, he's there.
Yeah, I love Favoretto as well when he plays blindside. I thought he always does a good job there as well.
Here we go. I think against France.
Yeah. I think for me, Otto, it's like it's one of those where I almost feel like we need to see a couple more back rowers now. We're getting to the stage where we need to see a couple more back rows. Ferrari, I'd love to see him play. Hopefully, he has a really good season at Zebre.
So,
right?
Odiase, Ferrari, Licata, Stabile.
Yeah.
Who else? Huh? Who else can be there? Odiase, Ferrari, Licata, Stabile.
Yeah, Stabile was an interesting one.
Those players are there, but let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of opportunity for now. Let's say in all these players, I was really happy to see Odiase debuting for Italy, but okay, not that happy in the second half in this second test because he went with a yellow card out.
Not for me, Josh. I don't think Ruggeri is close, and I don't think Bianchi's close either. Not anyway. That's my opinion.
I agree, because if I think it should be happen something really big if you have to call Ruggeri and everything to find a spot, also because we have seen Vincent and Cannone playing also on the flank if needed. Probably Icata is the one. Andriani was gonna happen.
Matteo.
Eccolo là. Matteo with Fratelli, another one of those players that can go.
Yeah, I actually think we put him in. I actually think we put him in. He like, we've seen enough, like, in the little bit that he's been, to know that he's a very good shout. He needs more time though. He needs more time
with these two guys on this side. Let me put una Tombina qua, sempre interessante da vedere. Then Mike, Zuliani, fantastic also this game. He did the best to show his best. So nice to have him like that. But what about Izegor? Your thoughts about this tour for Alessandro Izegor?
Yeah, it's mixed bag for me, I think, Otto. Like, obviously, it doesn't help who he was playing against. But also, I think it's interesting having him at blind side, because traditionally the open side's a lot faster than your blind side defender. Normally, your blind side defender's normally a little bit heavier, because that's where you're going to want to try and put the hits in. And again, I know this is antiquated, like, this is what rugby players positioning should be. And I know it's a different game now, but I feel like he can't really go on to being those +1 in a 1-3-3-1 if we're going to be playing whatever we're going to be playing, because he's in the wrong position to start off with, like offset piece. But
Mike, anyway, if you see him playing when he's in the wild channel, in the wild and wild channel,
the Wild West,
the ball never ran more than 10 meters out. and you don't see him getting the right ball. It happened twice with Benetton at the end of the games. I don't get why we cannot use that pace, that force that he had.
Yeah, explosive pace, explosive power. I'm with you, Otto. I think for me, it's one of those, isn't it? What do you think potentially having him? I know he was like lock cover. What were your thoughts?
I'm all in, Mike. All in.
Sold.
I have a dream with Izzagor and Giacomo Ferrari locks one day.
Love that. Ferrari would have given that little bit of fire that I think this young team would have needed, but we moved.
Mike, let's go on the backs. Our dirty friends, the backs. Pagelo rested. Who goes up? Who goes down into this three-player? Garbisi, Varney, Fosco.
You know what? Like, we didn't see enough from Varney to put him up because he didn't play enough. I think Garbisi stays where he is. I think Varney stays where he is. Although, if you would have asked me before, I would have put Fosco in front of Varney, and Varney would have gone up. I think this is perfect the way it is, in my opinion.
Okay, so you see Garbisi being the second, let's say, playing when we play Australia, we play next.
For now, because I think Varney, if he has a good season at Exeter, this can change very quickly, and Varney could go straight up to the top. It depends on what Varney we see at Exeter, in my opinion.
Michael, Dare, not a revelation for us.
I think he goes up. I think between him and Alan, it's going to be an arm wrestle moving forward. I also think, to be honest with you, like, he's just a different player, isn't he? He's our plan B. We use this analogy. It's Hastings and Finn. It's Cipriani and Farrell. It's like the plan A, plan B. It's Smith and Smith.
Man, for me, there is so different the way he attacked the line, and the way he tried to play. That make me really happy to see him having 3 games, 3 times all. It sucks for Montemauri, but this situation between the two is already happening with Zebre. So it seems like also, I think Dare is a couple of years older, I guess, than
I don't think there's that much in them, is there?
Not that much. Okay, so never mind. But it makes sense that Dare is the player that now is playing because he played well for me.
Yeah.
And Mike, this game for the match center, which is wild, Mike, wild. This looking at the tackles, the player with the most tackles done during this game for Italy was Ross Vincent with 21, Giacomo Dare 18. From a number 10 from our fly half, 18 tackles. For me, it's wild.
It was his tackle selection as well. I didn't write down the exact time, but there was 2 or 3 occasions where he did the choke tackle, not the choke tackle, sorry, the tackle to hold them up, right? And it worked really, really well, like in terms of trying to physically hold them up.
You see, last weekend when the kicked the ball for the Jesse Creel try, he is the player that is completely low on the ground and is trying to enter low as possible, almost to stop the ball while tackling on the knees the end.
Now, Josh looked it up, by the way, so you are right. Yeah, 2 years older. For some reason I thought it was 25 and 24, but anyway,
it's way too absurd. The way he is playing there, it's better than Montemauri. Montemauri is really good. I feel for him because it's the second time that, like, in last summer he played few minutes. This summer he didn't play, but he wasn't there last summer too.
He would have learned a lot on this. It's now we need to see, will he translate it to Zebre, and let's see what they can do.
What is gonna be exactly what is gonna be asked, and how he's gonna answer on those questions that Quesada put on him, like, okay, what we should do, how we should manage this and that, because I think there are also this kind of honest commentary between coaching staff and players. What you need to be even better than that.
How do you
What
achieve?
we learn from the centers, Mike, because this situation, we start with an idea, we ended up completely with another one. My opinion.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, right? So for me, I think there's maybe players that in not like like their stock went down, but what I'm saying is it's definitely going to make it more interesting seeing some of the other players coming up. So I think right now, we potentially, Otto, like, jokes aside as well, if we're looking at who potentially can come up, like, are we going to consider Zan Andrea as an option, like, in the not too distant future? Is that someone that we're going to see play a couple of seasons at Benetton and we're going to be like, okay, we're happy? Like, these are the players underneath them. But I think we learn a lot about maybe positioning of some of the players and like what they can and can't do, where they still need to improve. I think from Menoncello's standpoint, we always say about him having to develop his kicking and hands, right, to become a fully complete, one of the best players in the world, right? If he had hands and he had a boot, he would be the best player in the world, right? That's what he needs to develop. With
And
Zanon,
we saw him only with Namibia, and then also the partnership, but probably that can be something different. We didn't see La
right,
Marincello. We didn't see any Marincello.
right, yeah, which is a shame. Poor Marin, he's had the worst luck.
But
Zanon, for me, I didn't I didn't think Zanon and Menoncello worked together as a combination. I think that's something that maybe need to work a different combination in there if they want to play the two of them, because you need a distributor playing with one of them. So I was also thinking, reading some of Quesada's words about Darre. Are we going to potentially see Darre, Paolo Garbisi inside center, and Menoncello? Like, obviously we have Brex as well, but we need to think about these things. So
man, it's interesting. It's a good scenario. I don't know which game you can put it out and in which way, but would be really good to see. Maybe with Ioane Lainag Capuozzo can be really interesting. And then, of course, you're gonna bring a Marine, a 6+2 with Marine on the bench in case.
I also would like to see a Dogu at center at some point, not forced.
Do you think it's gonna happen with McRae and Benetton? They started today, the preseason.
Yeah, I think what they're going to do is they're going to want to try and get as much as much ball in the hand of a Dogu. And now we've got some returning players on the wing as well. Right, we've got Mendy playing. Right. Very similar player to a dog. They're gonna try. I think McRae's got the balls to try and like make things happen, if that makes sense.
I hope that Andrea will find a lot of
Stefano makes a good point. He commented
about
again
Zanon, but we said about Zanon, like, we know what he can do really well, and what can be really wrong with him.
Yeah. We knew that early. The same as Menoncello, we knew that early. You know.
Bertaccini will learn not that much during. We know how much he wants to play and everything, but on the wing is not the same.
No, I feel a bit sorry for Bertaccini, to be honest, because I think had that not been a forced change, we probably would have seen him play in his preferred position of centre. He wouldn't have been exploited with the bombs up in the air. And actually, I quite like that. Like, I quite like the fact that he has that explosiveness. Again, I'm just looking back at last week, where the first carry of the ball, he sends was it Andre Pollard to hell with that few sort of steps and the handoff. He's confident. I like that. And yeah, he's just unlucky. He's just unlucky. Like to see more of him, to be honest.
What we learned from Jesse this from this summer,
Yeah.
Mike.
Jesse's got to work a little bit, mate. I think he's unfortunate. He just defensive positioning. Jesse's a fantastic player. Like I genuinely think he can be very, very good. It's just he needs to. He just needs to sort of try and resolve this positioning issues, and this is the same issues that Trulla had when he first started. It's not, it's not isolated to him. It's just at the elite level, being a meter out of position makes a massive difference, and it makes a massive difference for the rest of the team as well, because they have to come and try and cover you, and then they're out of position, and then a kick goes in behind and the fullback's not in the right position, and it looks like it's the fullback's fault. Chain reaction, Otto.
Chain reaction makes sense. Although lineup, we know what they can do. Capozzo, everything. A great season for Gallagher, for Pani, all the contenders.
Yeah,
that is going to be interesting, and also with the leaving Prisciantelli, the space at Zepre is wide.
I do think we're going to have to wrap up, right? Because the boys are about to start on there.
We have 4 minutes in, like the Marincelli there against Yodago. I feel this option is not different with Mori, Cerozano, and Cello. Okay, not bad. Let's read this one. I love Jesse, but something just doesn't click for him when national team. It's like a mental block.
Yes,
I never
agree.
thought about this point of view.
Yeah, I agree.
Trulla seems a different player if we took him from 2 years ago.
He's different already.
But Mike, that was fun because we take it with we took this game with a philosophy. Probably, really, it is what it is. We know what has happened. That's why we start talking about the players. So even the casual fan, the rugby fan that doesn't follow anything about Italian rugby, understand who's player. Just do a screenshot of this. Look the players and look for other players and help us finding other players, because there are no other players.
Yeah, guys, if there's someone that
lower level,
I was gonna say, if there's someone that you didn't see in here, just comment like who you would also like to include in this.
Maybe tomorrow is going to be a
growing, this is going to be a ever-changing, growing list, right? And we just if there's people that we've forgotten, let us know.
Like Opoku, no. Opoku Gianfi.
Yes, the big
Let's see tonight what's gonna happen. Mike, one last question. What do you think is gonna be the score between Georgia and South Africa Georgia next weekend?
Depends on the team that South Africa put out, but if they're gonna take it seriously,
I see the Cheetahs win. I watched the game. Cheetahs.
Georgia. But that was like a Georgia second team, wasn't it?
Still.
I want to say, well, was it? I don't know. It was maybe more of a first team than a second. But I want to say, I reckon 57 or something like that.
Are they gonna jump again under the line?
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah, of course they are. They're going to keep doing that until they're not allowed to do it.
Georgia will do it this game.
Yeah, Georgia will do it back to them.
Okay, so guys, go on the Rugby Pass, because Italy will start playing now with the number 10 is Braga, really young player, really good kick. But let's see what's gonna happen. Forza Italia, see you next week, because it's gonna be Lions time. So we're gonna speak about Lions too. Let's go with everything. Mike, stammi bene? Buonanotte.
Let's go.
Ciao.